Hey everybody, Chief Meteorologist Brad Panovich here. Update on our weather today. Some good news. The severe weather risk is really declining and the heavy rain threat is staying to our south for the most part. What's kind of interesting here is what we're seeing happening today is you see all the big storms over southern Georgia, Alabama, the Florida Panhandle. They're effectively blocking some of the inflow of moisture further north. So most of the activity is happening down here. And so what's happening by the time that moisture gets up here to the Columbia to Charlotte area, we're seeing less and less of the heavy rain. Now it's raining, don't get me wrong. It's been raining most of the morning and most of the night, but what's happening is much lighter. And as you get further north, there's almost no rain falling, just some mist or drizzle. Now we're not completely out of the woods for some strong storms, mainly because the low pressure system back to the west, which is the upper system right here, still has to move through tonight. And there could be a line of some pretty strong showers or maybe thunderstorms later tonight as that moves through. But during the day today, there's little or no threat of severe weather right now, and the rate of rain is so low that I'm not worried about flash flooding right now either. Let me quickly show you the severe weather outlook today. We'll pop it up here. I'll actually turn off the radar here in a minute just to show you where this is so you can see a little bit better. We'll turn that off. So you can see the risk of severe weather. We've kind of been scaled back to mainly the low end range right now. So mostly this yellow is in the low risk. And then you go down here, there's the medium risk. And just to kind of show you where that tornado risk is, well, I briefly popped it up. That tornado risk is nowhere near us. There is a little bit on the coast. You can see a 2% and then the 5% is further south. So all in all, that's a pretty good sign that we're not going to see much of anything today. Let me quickly show you the heavy rain outlook. The heavy rain outlook still has us in the medium risk, though I think that's a little overdone for the most part. I think we're out of the woods for that as well. But we'll keep an eye because if that heavy rain does surge north, we could see a surge. So let's quickly look at the futurecast and show you what happens the rest of today and tonight. Here's a look at that futurecast. You can see the light to moderate rain at times today. Now, what we need to watch later today, and this is where we could see a risk of strong storms tonight, is you see the low back to the west. Along the leading edge of it, we start to see some strong storms develop. So we'll go through this afternoon, and as we get towards the evening hours, there's likely going to be an uptick in storms developing ahead of this low pressure system. So this would be the time frame later tonight, 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock, that we could see a couple strong storms, but I'm not overly concerned about it. In fact, right there at 9 o'clock might be the highest chance. Yeah, there will be some snow on the backside, moving into the mountains briefly. So a little bit of good news for the skiers. We'll get a quick shot of snow on the northwest side of this, and especially in the northeast. This looks to be a pretty good setup from some snow there. We'll load this up one more time and kind of show you the overall view as it loads. But you see the low kind of pushing to the east, and this will be out of here fairly quickly overnight. The one thing about tomorrow, which is going to be really interesting, is we're going to see some really strong winds on the back side of this. And in fact, we've already got high wind warnings up for parts of the mountains and foothills. So tomorrow's threat is just going to be straight line, regular winds outside of the rain. So tomorrow is going to be a really windy afternoon in the Carolinas. Let me quickly show you how high those winds could get. So I quickly threw up the flood watch here, and you can see the flood watch in effect to our south, and then there's a high wind warning for the mountains. How much wind are we talking about? Well, these would be the maximum sustained, or maximum gusts, I should say, tomorrow. And you can see in the mountains, yeah, there's going to be some gusts that could approach 60 miles per hour up here. But even across the Piedmont, some of these gusts could approach 40 miles per hour. So it's going to be a pretty windy Tuesday, even overnight Monday night into Tuesday morning. So if it's trash day tomorrow where you got loose items in the yard, you might want to go ahead and secure them, because this actually has the potential to be some pretty strong winds as we go through the day tomorrow. So I would definitely secure those things in the yard, because the backside of that low, and I'll loop it again, this is going to be a pretty strong low pressure system. So the pressure falls and the winds pick up on the backside. But you get the idea. We're going to see these strong winds come in on the backside, not so much with the thunderstorms, though there could be a couple right there as we go into tonight. So a little bit of good news today. We still have a low end risk of severe weather. Overall, that risk is going to stay pretty low, but we also still have the risk for some flash flooding south. But overall, I would say those concerns are subsiding. The biggest impact in the next 24 hours is likely going to be the wind on the backside of the system. Of course, I'll be on today. I'll post updates, and we'll talk more about this. If anything should changes, stay tuned to my pages. We'll let you know ASAP. Have a great Monday, everybody.